In the world of professional basketball, building a championship team is a complex puzzle. It requires the right mix of star power, depth, coaching, and often a bit of luck.
Gordon will defend. Caldwell Pope comes over. Shot clock 2, corner 3. Conley, good!
For years, the Minnesota Timberwolves struggled to find the right pieces, but in the 2023 to 2024 season, something clicked. The Wolves surged to 56 wins, boasted the league's best defense, and made a deep playoff run that turned heads across the NBA. So, what changed? And more importantly, what does it take to go from a good team to a great one? To answer these questions, we need to dive into the anatomy of a rising NBA team and explore the factors that could make or break the Timberwolves' championship dreams. The journey to championship contention didn't happen overnight for the Minnesota Timberwolves. It began with a series of shrewd moves by the front office, culminating in the blockbuster acquisition of now he's four-time winner, Defensive Player of the Year, Rudy Gobert, in the summer of 2022. This bold move, which saw the Timberwolves part with multiple players and draft picks, signaled the team's intent to compete at the highest level. The arrival of Gobert transformed the team's defensive identity, providing a formidable presence in the paint that complemented the offensive firepower already on the roster. Alongside this major addition, we witnessed the emergence of Anthony Edwards as a bona fide superstar.
Over for Utah. Edwards gets it back!
Earning his first All-NBA team selection. The dynamic duo of Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert anchored a defense that ranked first in the entire league. Add to that mix the sixth man of the year, Naz Reid, and you have a recipe for success that's been brewing in Minnesota. The 2024 playoffs became a stage for the Timberwolves to showcase their mettle. They didn't just participate, they dominated. A clean sweep of the Phoenix Suns in the first round, the first series sweep in Minnesota men's professional sports history, sent shockwaves through the league. Anthony Edwards, barely 22 years old, put on a performance that drew comparisons to a young Michael Jordan, even earning praise from his airness himself. But the true test came in the conference semifinals against the defending champions, the Denver Nuggets. In a series that went the distance, Minnesota displayed incredible resilience. Down 15 points at halftime of Game 7 in Denver, they orchestrated a comeback for the ages, securing their spot in the Western Conference Finals, a feat they hadn't achieved in 2 decades. Despite their impressive run through the first 2 rounds, the Timberwolves' journey was halted by the Dallas Mavericks in the Western Conference Finals. While the series ended in 5 games, the narrative of a defeat doesn't tell the whole story. Each contest was a closely fought battle, with Minnesota leading in the final minutes of multiple games. The series showcased both the Timberwolves' potential and the areas where they still needed to grow. Anthony Edwards continued his stellar play, but the team struggled with consistency and closing out games.
Who drives into Edwards?
Great
And
defense.
lost the ball.
The Mavericks, led by the dynamic duo of Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, displayed the kind of poise and execution in crunch time that comes with years of playoff experience. For the young Timberwolves, this series served as a masterclass in what it takes to win at the highest level of NBA basketball. The narrow margins between victory and defeat in each game highlighted the importance of mental toughness, attention to detail, and the ability to execute under pressure. While the loss was undoubtedly disappointing, the experience gained was invaluable. It provided the Timberwolves with a clear picture of what separates contenders from champions and gave them a roadmap for improvement as they look to take the next step in their evolution. As we look to the future, the question remains, what will it take for the Timberwolves to reach their ultimate goal? The path from conference finalist to NBA champion is often the most challenging step for a rising team, requiring improvements in various aspects of the game. For Minnesota, this journey involves addressing several key areas. One of the most crucial aspects of playoff basketball is mental fortitude. For the Timberwolves, developing this champion's mindset will be key to taking the next step. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, reflecting on the season, noted, "It's going to take a big jump.
Smart basketball fans.
And it's going to take constant failure and a mental battle to tune out," he say, to tune out the media, to humble yourself to the team, to do whatever it takes to win. This insight highlights the psychological challenges that come with high-stakes basketball. The Timberwolves have shown flashes of this mental toughness, particularly in their comeback against Denver in Game 7 of the conference semifinals. However, consistency in this area will be key. Every possession in the playoffs is crucial, and the ability to maintain focus and execution throughout an entire series is what separates contenders from champions. This mental resilience extends beyond just game situations. It involves handling media pressure, managing expectations, and staying united as a team through the ups and downs of a long season and playoff run.
A 39-22 advantage on the glass for the Wolves. Edwards. Cash!
Developing this mindset is often a process of experience, learning from both successes and failures. The grueling nature of a deep playoff run caught the Timberwolves by surprise, exposing an area for improvement in their championship quest. Anthony Edwards candidly admitted, "We trained this year as if we were just going to play 82 games, maybe one round of the playoffs. We didn't know we were going to go this far, so we didn't train like it this summer." This realization is a turning point for the team's approach to physical preparation. The demands of playing high-intensity basketball into June require a different level of conditioning and stamina. Now that the team has experienced these demands firsthand, they can tailor their off-season regimens accordingly. Improved conditioning will not only help with fatigue in late-game situations, but also in maintaining their defensive intensity throughout a long series. Karl Anthony Towns emphasized this point, saying, "We did a great job of taking care of our bodies throughout the season, but this series revealed we'll have to take it to another level this offseason. This could involve changes to their strength and conditioning programs, nutrition plans, and recovery protocols. The goal is to ensure that when the playoffs roll around next year, the Timberwolves are physically prepared to compete at their highest level from the first round all the way through to the NBA Finals. This physical readiness can provide a significant edge, allowing the team to execute their game plans effectively even as the grueling postseason wears on. As teams progress deeper into the playoffs, the margin for error becomes razor thin. Coach Chris Finch highlighted how the level of readiness and execution escalates with each round. The Timberwolves struggled at times with closing out quarters and games, often falling victim to untimely turnovers. These small lapses in execution can be the difference between winning and losing in high-stakes playoff basketball. Mike Conley, a veteran presence on the team, reflected on these moments. "I think in those first few games, just being able to close out quarters better, especially the fourth, we really had a great opportunity in front of us. Improving in these areas requires a combination of experience, preparation, and focus."
Oh, crossover. Conley. Oh, uses the contact.
The team will need to drill late-game situations, work on their offensive sets to avoid stagnation, and maintain their defensive identity even when the pressure mounts. This attention to detail extends to every aspect of the game, from setting proper screens and making crisp passes to communicating effectively on defensive rotations. It also involves studying opponents meticulously, anticipating their strategies, and being prepared to make in-game adjustments. For the Timberwolves to take the next step, they'll need to embrace this level of precision and consistency in their play, ensuring that every possession is treated with the importance it deserves in championship-level basketball. At the heart of Minnesota's championship aspirations lies the continued growth of Anthony Edwards. His performances in the 2024 playoffs were nothing short of spectacular, drawing comparisons to some of the game's all-time greats. Edwards became just the second player under 22 to record multiple 30 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assist stat lines in playoff games, joining elite company and showcasing his potential to be a generational talent. His ability to elevate his game on the biggest stage bodes well for the Timberwolves' future. What makes Edwards special is not just his physical gifts, his explosive athleticism and scoring prowess, but also his competitive fire and leadership potential. Throughout the playoff run, he displayed a fearlessness in taking big shots and a willingness to guard the opponent's best players. As Edwards continues to refine his skills, particularly his outside shooting and playmaking, the ceiling for this team rises. His development into a true superstar could be the X factor that pushes Minnesota from contender to champion.
That defensive sequence, all Ant taking it the other way.
Edwards' confidence is unwavering, as evidenced by his bold proclamation after the Western Conference Finals. "We'll be back next year." This self-belief, combined with his tireless work ethic, suggests that Edwards' best is yet to come. While Edwards' star power is undeniable, championship teams are built on more than just individual brilliance. The Timberwolves' depth was a strength throughout the season, with players like Naz Reid providing crucial contributions off the bench. The continued development of young talents like Jaden McDaniels, who earned all defensive team honors, adds another dimension to the team's potential. With a strong core and capable supporting cast in place, the Timberwolves seem poised for success. However, the road to an NBA championship is never easy, especially in the competitive landscape of the Western Conference. Teams like the Nuggets, Mavericks, and Warriors have recent championship pedigree, while up-and-coming squads like the Pelicans and Thunder are also fighting for contention. For the Timberwolves to emerge from this gauntlet, they'll need to prove they can consistently beat the best teams in high-stakes situations.
Three by Edwards. Gordon is on him. Shot clock at 7. He'll dance. Great cutover and a shot.
Their success against Phoenix and Denver in the 2024 playoffs shows they have the potential, but replicating and building on that success will be the true test. It's important to remember that success on the court is often influenced by factors off it. As we look ahead to the 2024 to 2025 season and beyond, the pieces are in place for the Minnesota Timberwolves to make a legitimate run at the NBA championship. The combination of star power, depth, coaching, and now experience puts them in a position they haven't been in for 2 decades. Anthony Edwards' evolution into a superstar, the defensive prowess anchored by Rudy Gobert and Jaden McDaniels, the versatility of Karl Anthony Towns, and the depth provided by players like Naz Reid and Mike Conley form a core that can compete with anyone in the league. The lessons learned from their playoff run, the need for mental toughness, improved conditioning, and attention to detail, provide a roadmap for improvement. If the Timberwolves can address these areas while maintaining the strengths that got them this far, they have a real shot at bringing the Larry O'Brien Trophy to Minnesota for the first time. But hey, that's just my take. What do you think about the Timberwolves' chances next season? We want to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We're always breaking down the biggest stories and trends in the NBA, and you won't want to miss our future videos. And hey, while you're at it, smash that bell icon too. That way you'll be notified as soon as we drop new content. Trust me, with how quickly things change in the NBA, you'll want to stay up to date.